get it. So the app stays up to date with store requirements, bug fixes, and new features as we roll them out. Download the KBLA 1580 app today and stay plugged into the conversation everyone's having.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique the Prima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique the Prima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Happy Monday. God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima. This show is called First Things First. And my first thing every day is prayer, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. We got a lot to talk about as per usual and a lot to do. Where have I been? Well. I carry hints. But look, thank you to James Farr for holding it down while I was away. And of course, Miles Lowe always holding it down when I'm here and when I'm not here. And I realize, when I'm not in Los Angeles, well, let me put it this way. When I'm not on the radio, I do miss you guys. It's just I don't miss the hour. I'm not going to lie. I do not miss that 3:45 a.m. alarm. I don't miss it at all. But now that's a different story. So great to see you, and thank you for being here, and thanks to all who held it down. So this is how we do it. It's Monday. We call it Mindful Monday. Hour 1, we look local. Hour 2, we kick off the hour with our grounding. Sahara Ali, who is a yoga instructor, a sound healer and sound bath specialist, and an astrologer, leads us in a guided meditation, affirmation, and a little outlook on what's going on in the astrology streets. And then we open up the phone lines for whatever is going on. And then hour 3, we do a deep dive on a hot topic or person or persons of interest. And we try to breathe throughout the day and be mindful, because that's what the week needs, right, to get us on track. And today, hour 3, I'm excited. My sister, literally, we have the same DNA, but she also happens to be a world-renowned art historian and curator. She will be joining us in hour 3 to talk about Betty Saar and the huge transition of just a formidable artist, and kind of an overview of her work. So Kelly Jones joins me in hour 3. And you'll see why I say, well, never mind. Like I'm the dumb one in a family of geniuses. That's what we'll put it that way. But I mean that lovingly, dumb is relative, right? Anyway, being the dumb one in the Trump family would be a whole nother conversation. Good morning. So, we're starting off our Monday, because our Mondays we have an amazing group of rotating correspondents. Today we are checking in with, she's a professor, she's a mama, of three. She's an organizer and a consultant on, how do you put it? LaMikia Castillo is with me. You don't say DEI, you say something much better than that.
Oh, I just say anti-racism.
Or, like I said, much better,
Anti-racism
much
consulting.
better than that. Anti-racism. LaMikia Castillo, how are you? Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. I am full from lots of pool parties with my kids this summer and
Okay.
especially this weekend. Welcome back to you. I hope you had a beautiful time away. I got some glimpses, a little bit of glimpse into what you were doing out of the country. So can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, I did. I definitely, reminder to all, not just me, that rest is, restoration. That's how you heal. You travel, you guys, your family, you travel a lot, which I think is very brave considering that you have three under five, three babies.
We do. We have small children, and we do travel quite a bit. We're actually heading out of town very soon to go on a vacation, visit some family in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Well, I love that for you. My friend Zoran Basic, the elder care attorney, is always saying that people wait until they retire. They try to save and wait till they retire to travel, and then they retire and you know, they're injured or they don't feel good or they don't have energy and they don't want to go. They want to sit on the couch and watch TV. So he's always saying travel while you're young, even though you think you can't afford it and you don't have time. Do it. Do it, Miles. Do it.
Do it. No, I definitely support that. When I was a kid, we couldn't afford to travel. We didn't take vacations as a family or anything like that. And so when I got to college and had the opportunity to study in different places, I definitely decided that was something I wanted to explore. And they tell you once you travel, they have the travel bug that bites you, right? And you just can't stop. And so I've had the privilege of traveling to a lot of different countries. And it also opens your mind and helps you to see, especially as a Pan-Africanist, like I studied these things in school, but then being able to go abroad and see how Black people live all in so many different countries, like in Latin America, even in Africa, and even in Asia, and Europe, it's been really eye-opening. And then you make all these awesome connections with people that you maybe would never have met before, and you have friends all over the world, and it's a beautiful thing. And now I get to expose my kids to that, and it's tough. It's tough traveling with little people, but they also enjoy it as much of it, as exhausting as it is. They just have so many experiences that I never had as a child. So I'm really privileged to be able to do that with my babies.
Yeah, it's dope. They're going to be well seasoned in this life. I think I made my little man go with me to Africa when he was like 8, I think, and yours are much younger than that. But it changed his whole worldview. I mean, and that's the thing. I think if you can get away, and I know it's hard because everything is expensive right now. But even if you can get in your car and go to Baja California, go to Tijuana or something, go somewhere, go to Canada, drive up, up north. It's important right now because we're living in such a toxic America at this moment that North America, U.S. America, that I think it's really helpful to our mental health to remember there's a whole world that sees things differently, that has a different president or prime minister or king or queen or chief or whatever, and their own system of government, their own culture. And it's a reminder that this ain't all there is. I love my country, don't get me wrong, but it's important to be, like, I think, putting things in the perspective of the world. And even if you watch Animal Planet or watch those space shows, it's in the perspective of the universe, of which we're a tiny dot.
Yeah, and kids love that. My middle son, Legacy, who's 4, he asks about this every day. He's like, "Mommy, how are we on a planet in space, but we're not in outer space?" Right? Because he's really interested in these things. And yesterday we had this whole conversation about the sun, and he said to my older son, he's like, "The sun controls the moon." And then Justice is like, "No, it doesn't." And I'm like, actually, that's an interesting perspective. It kind of does. And so we went into this whole conversation about, gravitational pull and the sun, how the sun's light reflects onto the moon. That's how we can see the moon. And it's just mind-blowing to see how their little brains work from being exposed to things like books about the planets and, like watching. My kids don't get really any screen time, but Animal Planet is one thing that every now and again we'll put on for them, or looking at things about outer space. And it just really, it blows their mind. And I feel like I learned so much as a parent through those shows, and then also through them with their just the inquisitive nature that kids have. It's a beautiful thing to see. And then also you realize how much you don't know.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, let me look at that.
Yeah, right. Because they got all kinds of bizarre questions. And you're like, okay, give me a minute. I'm not sure about that. But no, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. That's why your kids will probably be rocket scientists. In any case,
This might be.
I mean, that's really how it starts, is curiosity. And I know I would never have watched all those animal shows, nor all of those cooking shows if it wasn't for my son. But they definitely made me smarter. 800-920-1580 if you want to jump in anytime. Molly Bell is in the chat. The comment section is always robust. Molly Bell says James Farr was excellent. You left us in good hands. And she wants to know how to spell your name. Well, Sahara is Saharah. She has an H at the end, by the way. And LaMikia she got it pretty good. Lamikia. You're only missing one A. Castillo. So that's, and you don't have to spell my name. Just call me. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. So we do have a lot to talk about. And I'd love to hear from you because it's been a minute. I know James did a good job. We booked some great guests for him. We left him stacked and ready, and he has you. So, but man, I understand the Destination Crenshaw town hall was packed. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I see some rather crazy things have taken place, of course, while I was out of town. So 800-920-1580, that's the number if you want to weigh in. LaMikia's got a few things on her to-do list, to talk about list. It's all going down right here on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
The best time to recommit to your gut health goals? Right now. Take charge of your gut with Nature Made. Our clinically studied ingredients support digestive health. Digestive enzymes break down nutrients. Probiotic and prebiotic fiber nourish good gut bacteria. And super greens with probiotics empower daily digestive health. Try the full lineup of gut health support from Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Unapologetically progressive.
You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. We don't tell you what to think, just what to think about.
The KBLA 1580 app puts the realest conversations right in your pocket. Stream live wherever you are in the world. No static. No searching the dial. A crystal clear connection 24/7, exactly when you want it. We recommend that you keep automatic updates enabled. Set it and forget it. So the app stays up to date with store requirements, bug fixes, and new features as we roll them out. Download the KBLA 1580 app today and stay plugged into the conversation everyone's having.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Charmin Ultra Strong. You can use less, better than the rest. Charmin Ultra Strong. Your booty past the clean test. Salmon weave texture, it's the best. Study up, teach a lesson on fresh. Your booty past the clean test. Yes, sir. Charmin Ultra Strong.
Charmin Ultra Strong with diamond weave texture cleans better than the leading one-ply brand, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Number 14. That's where Talkers Magazine ranked Tavis Smiley on their Heavy 100 list of the 100 most important talk radio hosts in America. Join Tavis weekdays, 9 a.m. to noon or 9 p.m. to midnight, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Don't be anxious or confused about AI. Take control of your career when you get the skills to tackle real business problems and design specialized solutions. HR Dive reported that entry-level talent with applied AI credentials can receive up to a 25% salary boost. But where do you find training that you can trust? Future-proof your career and deliver more value with Humans Lead the Way AI. Their hybrid learning courses use practical definitions, real-world examples, and strategic insights to help you and your team understand AI with confidence. No magic, no hacks, no shortcuts. Just practical knowledge that helps you use AI more successfully. Don't wait. AI can never replace people who know how to use it well. Register for courses today at humansleadtheway.com. That's humansleadtheway.com.
Just in case you missed our Procrastination Crenshaw Town Hall.
Literally right in front of our doorsteps the last 2 to 3 years, we have been interrupted by this nightmare of a project called Destination Crenshaw. The desire was partnership at the onset, but we've seen broken promise after broken promise. We've seen our parishioners impacted. We've seen our peers and our local neighbors impacted directly by this. We've seen the crippling of the Crenshaw economy as a result of this project, starting and then ultimately walking away. And we're not going to just lay down. We're not going to just, amen, pretend like nothing's happening on our doorsteps. And tonight I want to get out of the way because I want to hear from you. I can stand there as a pastor and tell you how many times we've been interrupted from our flow of worship, how it's impacted our ability to provide services to our community, how the blight and how the construction derailment has hindered our ability to amply run our food pantry programs, to offer summer camp programs for our young people, how the construction impacts just our ability to be able to come to church in part. I can go on about how it's interrupted just our day-to-day operations and being able to accommodate the needs of our community.
Making sure they stick to the truth. We're KBLA, Talk 1580.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Right now, we're back to me. We're back to LaMikia Castillo. And look, we've got some breaking news. There was a pedestrian who was hit and killed early this morning on the 10 freeway. That's near Vermont Avenue. And it's caused the closure of several lanes. I don't have much more information, although I'll keep you updated if more comes in. But if you are commuting in that 10 on the 10 freeway in Mid-City, it's going to be backed up, and you probably want to find an alternate route. Typically, when there's a fatality, it can snarl things for quite some ways. And yeah, man, we got a lot of folks that die on these roads. We all got to slow down and give ourselves a little bit more time. LaMikia Castillo is with me, and there is a lot to cover. One of the things that you brought up that I hadn't been tracking is this opt-out situation. It's called the opt-out, I guess, option that you can now do if you're a California consumer. And so explain how that works. It's a website where we can get people to stop tracking us online or stop, pimping us online.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's called the DROP Act. And it was passed, I think, like 10 years ago or something, but it went into effect on August 1st, so just this past Saturday. And it's the first of its kind law in the country where the state of California said, look, people go online not realizing that their data is being sold every single time they use, a website. Whenever you sign up for something like, they say, hey, give us your information. You get 25% off if you try to go buy something online. Or if you go and sign up and they say, hey, do you want to get some points? You can get points for this, and then you can get something free next time.
Yeah.
Every time, right? They lure us in with all these deals and discounts. But when you do that, usually it has you check a box that says something along the lines of, by signing up here, you agree to our policies and yada, yada, yada. But people usually don't read those policies. What those policies say is we have a right to sell your data to whomever we want. and they package up all of people's information, and then they sell your data, like any information about you. And then that's how you get all these robocalls, or not all of them, but many of them, right? Or you're getting all of these advertisements that you didn't ask for. The algorithms are shaped by this data that's being sold when you're on social media, so on and so forth. So the state of California basically says, look, people don't know what they're signing up for. They're not signing up for that. They're asking you for a discount. They're not asking you to sell their information, and they should be able to opt out if their information being sold. So it's an attempt to hold these data brokers, or what they're called, accountable to actually not sharing and selling your information. And then if they are putting information out there about you, that if you say that you, in the state of California, if you go on this the Drop Act website, and I'll find out what this website is. I don't remember it by heart, but if you go onto the California website, and you say, I don't want them to sell my data, that then they will be held accountable and fined for that, and that they could be held, responsible for your information being put out there when you didn't give permission to do it.
It's privacy.ca.gov, privacy.ca.gov. So what I love about this, LaMikia, you don't have to call every single app and every website that you've ever browsed on to try to get them to stop selling your data. You go to this and you opt out, and they, I guess, contact the different data brokers, the ones that are actually selling your info, and tell them to stop. And it seems like they're trying to have some real teeth in this and make, hold some of these data brokers accountable. So the way I look at it, even if it didn't get rid of all of my, information online, or end the sale of all of my personal data, it would help. It would cut down on the endless wave of people trying to sell you stuff online and tracking you online. And so I think, that's really something we should all do, is go on there and say we want to drop.
Yeah, I agree. I know there's some folks are hesitant to share their information with the government, as if the government doesn't already have our information. But I get it, right, that there's not a trust there. But if you're tired of people trying to sell you stuff and having your contact information, it is worth looking into to sign up for. And let's be honest, right? People have been able to pay for services like this for a long time, so that the fact that the state of California is offering it free to its residents is pretty incredible. And we'll see how it goes with other states. Usually California leads the nation in a lot of things like this, and so we'll see how other states respond. But it's only day 3, and if you haven't signed up, I think they're supposed to. Once you go and sign up, they have like 90 days to remove your information. If they haven't, you can report it to the state. Like if you're still receiving advertisements and these types of promotions that you didn't request, and then the state is supposed to go and contact them. I don't know I never know what it looks like on the back end, and this is so new, we don't know. But like you said, I think the more of us who sign up, it just shows the demand for change, and that's how we got this all in the first place. So
I mean, they're saying 300,000 people have already signed up. I guess they were on waiting lists because, like you said, it only started August 1st, but people, I think, started signing up at the beginning of the year. So that's cool. I mean, starting today, they're already going to be processing these 300,000 people that are saying, stop selling my stuff. And so I think that's dope. Let's go to Barbara calling us from Orange County. Good morning, Miss Barbara.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning to that guest. I have a situation here where TikTok went into my phone. Now, I don't have a TikTok account. They set up an account and pulled all my information from Facebook, because I don't go on TikTok. They pulled the information from Facebook because they have, and they sent me something. But when I went to look at something on Facebook and it went over to TikTok, there's a
Miles,
whole thing set up.
We might need you on this, because I don't think TikTok can just install itself on your phone. I don't think, like,
let me.
do you have a grandchild or something, or a child? Okay.
No, let me tell you what else they did. They went into my phone directory in my phone and grabbed a bunch of numbers and set up a friends thing and said, to accept this friendship, they're in your contact list.
Now, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me, because, hold on. No, this is a back and forth conversation. Don't worry. Just breathe, just like you have when you're not on the radio. Back and forth. Okay, so if you don't opt out of any app getting into your contact list, every app will do that. Go ahead.
That's just it. I don't go on TikTok.
Okay. So Miles, TikTok can't. You said that was it. Hold on, Barbara. TikTok can't just install itself. TikTok cannot install itself on your phone. You have to put the app on your phone. It doesn't. Unless somebody was on your phone.
Like, you probably did something. You probably clicked on a video. It probably took you to a link. You probably just thought it was Facebook and hit sign in as Facebook. You know what I mean? Like, there's a bunch of little portals and ways you get logged in and get these little accounts created. So it's not unlikely that you may have made it yourself. But, yeah, I doubt the app just said, okay, let's find her phone. Let's download.
But she would still have to have it on her phone, right? I mean, she can't.
I mean, I'm saying she might have made an account on accident. By association, you know what I mean? Just by linking your account, by watching the video or something, you may have actually made an account. I don't know,
but unlikely. What do you say, Malik?
LaMikia? No, it's actually pretty common these days, because what happens is, like Miles said, if you, for example, there might be a video that's on TikTok that somebody put on Facebook, and you click on to watch it, and if you want to see it, TikTok, it says you have to have an account. Or to, hey, watch this, click here. And when you click there, you don't have to actually create the account. What happens is it just links it to your Facebook or links it to your Gmail. Like, it links it to whatever you say. Like, yeah, here's my Facebook.
But don't you have to have the app on your phone, though?
No. It will literally it just does it through the web browser. And then it may say you can watch this more easily through the app. They're very tricky. They're very tricky, and it might say that, like, click here to watch, and then when you click there, it creates an account for you.
Okay, we're 20 seconds away from the top of the hour. What does she need to do? Okay. Barbara, you still there?
But here's what the problem is, Dominique, here's what my problem is.
Okay, we only have 20 seconds, so you're going to have to tell me your problem after news, traffic, and sports. I was trying to get you a quick solution, but it looks like we're not going to do that. I just remember when everyone thought TikTok was banned, right? And they were buying phones for tons of money because they wanted the app on it. But now you're saying that they can just load the app onto her phone without her permission. That seems very bizarre. But anyway, we'll have solutions, and we'll find out, I guess, the details of your problem after news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Mike Island with BIN News Now on the Black Information Network. 10 million people are without electricity this morning after Cuba's national power grid reportedly has completely collapsed. The sudden island-wide blackout followed a severe regional outage that had already crippled some sections of the island, including Havana. Hazardous environmental conditions reportedly are continuing to plague black communities, like in Tennessee. Residents and community leaders are speaking up about SpaceX AI's construction in South Haven. Aubrey Connors of the NAACP Center for Environmental and Climate Justice Center says communication is lacking about what is going on.
It felt as though this was a tactic or a strategy to try to not have to work with communities.
A statement about the construction's progress was released to media. Get BIN News Now on demand on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers believe they have added the final piece to winning a third straight World Series. An hour before the Major League Baseball trade deadline, the Dodgers made a deal with the Detroit Tigers to acquire right-handed pitcher Tariq Skubal, the best pitcher in baseball the last 2 years. Skubal won the Cy Young Award in 2025 and 2024. The Dodgers only had to give up 3 minor league prospects to get him. Alabama A&M will be the first HBCU football team to wear a corporate logo on their jersey. Alabama A&M, a member of the SWAC Conference, agreed to a $250,000 sponsorship deal with Omni 2 Max, a tech services firm based in San Diego. The deal was put together by Omni 2 Max business development manager Siobhan Kamek, an Alabama A&M alumnus. The logo patch will be on the jerseys for Alabama A&M season opener August 29th against Howard in the SWAC MEAC Challenge in Atlanta. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Did you know the Crenshaw Corridor now offers free public Wi-Fi? Thanks to Destination Crenshaw in the city of Los Angeles, staying connected is easier than ever. Whether you're checking email, applying for jobs, doing homework, or supporting your local business, free internet access is now available along the corridor because everyone deserves the opportunity to connect, learn, and grow. To find Wi-Fi locations and learn more, visit www.getconnected.lacity.gov.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 connecting you with services and solutions. The midterm elections are upon us. It is voting season once again. Common Cause's motto is fighting for the democracy we deserve. In service of that goal, Common Cause puts its state and national policy expertise, massive network of grassroots supporters, and nonpartisan approach into action to strengthen our democracy against the challenges we face today. They work at every level of government on priorities that impact each of our lives, like defending the right to vote, limiting big money's influence on our elections, holding public officials accountable, and more. Common Cause is a nonpartisan grassroots organization dedicated to upholding the core values of American democracy. They seek to empower all people to make their voices heard in the political process. This election may be the most important one ever. If you'd like to make a donation or volunteer in service to the Constitution, please visit commoncause.org. That's commoncause.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, I guess we lost Barbara. I hope she's still listening. Barbara did not want to hold on through news, traffic, and sports. But what can she do, Miles? What can she do, LaMikia? She somehow, whether it was her sneaky grandchild or a sneaky app, has TikTok on her phone, and it's got her contacts, and she doesn't want that. She can go to privacy.ca.gov, but that's not going to solve the whole problem, right?
No, I'm curious to hear from Miles. I feel like Miles has a better perspective on this, but my initial reaction is that she has to go and can't delete her account on TikTok and then uninstall the app. And just be careful when you're watching any videos. A lot of these videos now come from TikTok. And whether you're watching them on Instagram or if you're just like looking up a video somebody sent you, if it's a TikTok video, TikTok does require you to sign up for TikTok in order to watch these videos most of the time. So just be careful. If you don't want TikTok on your phone, if you don't want to use TikTok, then don't watch a video that comes from TikTok.
Anything else, Miles?
I say, Barbara, go ahead and just embrace TikTok, Barbara. Just let this be a turning point for you right here. No shout out the organization, but yeah, go ahead and make this the jump off point for you. Jump off the porch, come onto these TikTok streets, Barbara, and embrace it. Or just throw the whole phone away. But I think it's better off.
Throw the whole phone away.
I think you're better off just joining us on TikTok, Barbara.
Look, those are two bad options. I've grown to like TikTok, even though it's owned by the Ellison family, who are fascists, pro Netanyahu Trump supporters.
Sure.
But I'd throw the whole phone away. Those phones are like $1,000 or more.
I was tongue in cheek. I was just joking.
Okay, just checking. No, because people are so paranoid.
Right.
I think TikTok does collect data, but what we were just talking about is every app does. Every single app collects data.
Wish she would have stayed around so we can kind of see like what her final like point of why the super panic was.
Yeah, because she said what her problem is. Well, Barbara, call us back 800-920-1580 if you have time. Call us back. See if we can get to the heart of the problem here. Yeah, I mean, it's everybody has your data. I hate to say it. If you've ever paid a bill online, if you've ever shopped at all online, Amazon or otherwise, your data is out there. Doesn't mean you don't take any steps to protect it. Okay, so this story, which I talked about before I left, but it's gotten worse since I left, which is that this guy, Daniel Flores, who's an LAPD officer, recorded files of his colleagues making racist, sexist, and anti-gay comments. He made these recordings because he was hoping that they would, by turning them over to his superiors, internal affairs would investigate and root out some of these racist officers. But instead, while I was on vacation, District Attorney Nathan Hochman has charged him with a felony for illegal eavesdropping. I'm really struggling with this one, LaMikia, because we say we want the good cops to step forward. We say, some people say it's just bad apples. I say it's a bad system. But if it's just bad apples, then when the supposed good apples turn in the bad apples, you're not supposed to hit them with 16 felony counts of eavesdropping on or recording confidential communications. This cop who was trying to root racism out of the department is facing 13 years in prison. Meanwhile, DA Nathan Hochman refuses to bring charges against the off-duty ICE officer who murdered Keith Porter, a black man and U.S. citizen. Make it make sense.
Well, it only makes sense because Nathan Hochman is a mini Trump. That's why this makes sense. Looking at this, it's so infuriating, right? Why someone who is basically a whistleblower? That's what this is. Daniel Flores was blowing the whistle and saying, hey, we have some folks in here who are absolutely racist, they're sexist, they're homophobic, and I, as a person, I'm assuming he became an officer because he thought that becoming an officer was protecting the community. He bought into the lies that we are here to protect and serve, and he's finding that his colleagues are not committed to that. And he says, you know what, I want to do the right thing and make sure that they're being held accountable for what they're doing, and they shouldn't be on the force. And then the district attorney that the folks in this city of L.A. elected and got George Gascon, who, for all of the things that he wasn't doing great, I thought he was doing a pretty good job of actually holding officers accountable. That we got rid of him to put in somebody like Nathan Hochman, who made it very clear that he was not committed to holding police officers accountable. And not only is not holding them accountable, he's actually going and prosecuting those who are trying to hold the police accountable. So
other cops who are trying to hold cops accountable. Right. If he'll do this to a fellow cop, imagine what he'll do to activists. That is crazy to me. And he's, the thing that makes it more problematic, in my view, is that these were officers in the department's recruitment unit. These are the cops that recruit other cops. And he has 90 different recordings of them saying sexist, racist, homophobic stuff. And these are the people that are picking who gets to be in the department. And, the district attorney's comment that, well, I find the, the comments on the tape deplorable, it's still against the law. And so is racism, my friend.
Right.
So pick your problem.
And the question is, what is Nathan Hochman going to do about those officers that were caught on the recording? I mean, we saw this happen, just a few years ago with elected officials in the city, not police officers, right? Yep. We had elected officials and leaders of unions who were caught on tape making comments, specifically racist comments about black people specifically, and also not just racist comments. They were actively working to take away our political power, right? Through their efforts as, like, how do we make sure that the quote unquote 25 black folks yelling don't get what they are trying to get politically? And we ran them out of the city. We got them out of office. We said, y'all are not going to be you can't live in the city of LA and be a leader in the city of LA and do these things. And now fast forward, to 5-6 years later, and we see that the district attorney is making no effort to hold those officers accountable. And what is that saying to officers? Don't worry, we'll protect you. We'll protect you.
Right.
You're racist, you're homophobic, you're sexist. We got your back. Anybody who comes in as a whistleblower, you're the ones who are going to be held accountable. We're going to prosecute you to the fullest extent and put you in prison. It's mind-blowing.
I mean, his quote, and this is Hochman, this case serves as a warning to anyone seeking to record a conversation without the other person's permission that doing so is illegal and has been a crime in the state of California for over 50 years. But to me, it speaks to priorities. How much of a huge problem is it people recording other people without their consent? Okay, now, how much of a huge problem is it racism in police departments, where people are actually being murdered, where the LAPD is typically in the top 3, if not the single most deadly police force in the nation? But you're more worried about people's conversations being recorded than people being demoted, killed, beaten up, or having their rights violated because of homophobic, sexist, and racist cops. It's really... It is the whole problem. Because, and to your point about, the electeds, right? Nori Martinez and Gil Cedillo and Kevin De Leon. And then, of course, the LA Fed chief as well, is that none of them had any criminal consequences. There were no charges brought by the DA. They were run out of town by the people. Which means which means these cops clearly will not face any consequences.
I mean, we don't even know the names of the cops.
Nope. True.
We know the name of the cop who put out the record, who said, "Hey, these folks, listen to what these folks are saying. They're racist, sexist, homophobic." We don't know who those officers are. There's no accountability for those officers. Nathan Hochman is protecting those officers, and he's going after the wrong person here. Not the wrong person. But again, this speaks volumes to how important it is for us to know when we're going and voting on these positions like the district attorney, who they are, what they stand for. And when he says, I stand on the side of police, this is what he's talking about. And we have to live with these officers in our communities every single day with their racist mindsets, with their homophobic, sexist perspectives, and they're harming us, and there's no accountability for them.
Well, if this dude really goes to prison for 13 years for this, that's going to be wild when you think about how many cops kill kids or regular people, grown people, and don't get 1 day in prison.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I can't even overstate or understate how interesting this is to me, seeing that this news of him being prosecuted came out 2 days ago, which is August 1st, the first day of Black August. Now, as far as I know, he is not a black officer, but Black August is about political prisoners in the state of California, and I'm thinking to myself, and how ironic, an officer who, and I agree with you about the system is bad. I'm not interested in individual players as much if the system is bad, but this is an individual who is, in his mind, trying to do the right thing and expose racism, sexism, homophobia, and all of that inside of LAPD, and then gets arrested. I'm sorry, not arrested, gets prosecuted in Los Angeles, California, during the month of Black August, when we're commemorating folks who are political prisoners for their stance against these types of things happening in our society. Maybe it's not a connection, but in my mind, I'm like, wow, what are the odds?
Yeah, but I'm glad you brought up Black August. I mean, because it did start in California, around California prisons, but now it's spread to be a commemoration, I guess would be the word, not a celebration, a commemoration that happens all across the country and around the world, which is, people make the commitment to study, some people fast, and to really, learn about the political prisoners in this country, many of whom are still people like Mumia Abu-Jamal, who's apparently taking his case all the way to the UN, who are still in prison. And so, I guess this is my first radio day of Black August, and just want to, encourage people, crack a book, like find out more about, even if you don't consider yourself to be a scholar or a radical activist, whatever, in the spirit of Black August, let's learn something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely be tracking that. I also think it's ironic that it happens, after this district attorney pushed to dismiss charges against the officers that were responsible for the murder of Christopher DeAndre Mitchell, a young Black man here in Los Angeles, who had already, that trial was already in motion. It's not like we were trying to see. The charges had already been brought by the prior DA, and he pressed the judge to drop those charges, still refuses to bring charges against Brian Palacios, the ICE officer who killed Keith Porter in Northridge here in Los Angeles, and has made it abundantly clear that he will not hold officers responsible for taking people's lives. Now it's gone a step further where it's you'll be punished if you try to root out racism in the department.
Yeah, if that's not disturbing and concerning to folks, I don't know what is. And again, when it comes time for election, I would really think hard about who you're voting in and who you're voting out of these types of positions, because Nathan Hochman has made it very, very clear, abundantly clear, he is not going to hold any officers accountable. And not only that, he will push to make sure that officers who have committed a crime and like in the case of Christopher DeAndre Mitchell's murderers, that he will go to bat for them and make sure that they don't actually have to face the court, face the system. It's mind-blowing and very concerning.
Indeed it is. You're welcome in. Barbara called us at 800-920-1580. And Barbara, if you still want to call back, we got time this morning. 800-920-1580. That's the number. Or you can hop on YouTube, youtube.com, KBLA 1580, way in there. If you missed any past shows, they're all available wherever you get your pods, absolutely free. They also live on YouTube if you want the visuals to go with, the conversation. You're always, always, always invited. KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you feeling the heat? LADWP can help you stay cool this summer and save money. Through the Cool LA program, eligible customers can receive instant rebates of up to $275 on new portable, window, and wall air conditioners. Shop the Cool LA marketplace today and beat the heat and save. Learn more and apply at ladwp.com/cool-LA. That's ladwp.com/cool-LA.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
With Civic Tax Relief, they were able to save me upwards of $80,000 that I would have had to pay had I not reached out to them.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies.
I owe the IRS $37,000.
They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS. By the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-285-3500, 800-285-3500. Don't wait. Call now. 800-285-3500, 800-285-3500.
Just in case you missed our Procrastination Crenshaw Town Hall.
Been dealing with the lies of Crenshaw Destination. I live on this street. I remember the first day I came and there was no parking. And they said it'd be 6 months just to fix the wall. They started putting the big boulders down, and my life has changed ever since then. My kids haven't had graduation parties. They haven't had birthdays. My car's been in the shop multiple times. All my tires have been replaced multiple times, each one. I spent $1,000 on my front lawn because in 6 months, keep replacing sprinkler. Now it's just dirt. It's frustrating. Because I'm not a politician, but I know politics, and I know the Smiley said the councilman, but I want to go above that. Karen, you want my vote? Make things happen. Talk is cheap. We can play these games. Period. Because you can't fix it, somebody will.
Not letting them get away with anything. We're KBLA, Talk 1580.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate meets a scholarly match.
Okay, I meant to get to this sooner, but I don't want to close out the hour with LaMikia without touching on what's happening with the MLK hospital. And I appreciated the LA Times putting this on the front cover of their paper this morning, but of course their framing is interesting. The situation is that because the Trump administration is cutting Medicaid and Medi-Cal, cutting 100 million, hundreds of millions nationally, that puts a lot of pressure on hospitals, puts a lot of pressure on individuals to pay for their own medical care. Now, when it comes to funding for hospitals, there's no consideration for which ones are more needy, which ones are helping more lower resource people, which ones are getting fewer other contributions from taxes and other sources. If you think about what happened with both the schools and violence prevention in LA, they used to be that way. Every council district got the same amount of money, even if they had no crime, right? That's how they used to do it. It was like, and you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. Then it changed. They changed the formula to where council districts that have more violent crime should get more resources. The same thing they did with schools. I know you remember this. You're an educator, right? Where they started saying the schools that have greater need should get greater funding. And that's what they need to do with medical establishments. Of course, Cedars-Sinai is pushing back. They don't want to change the formula so that hospitals like MLK that serve a lot of unresourced people get more money. They don't want to because they'll lose money. They're in Beverly Hills. They say it would risk undermining the trauma network, according to the LA Times. But of course, what could undermine the trauma network more than Martin Luther King going out of business again because they're not getting their fair share?
Right. No, you're absolutely right. The ways that funds are allocated should be equitable. What does that mean? Like you said, equity is that the funds are allocated based on the need, not based on everybody gets the same thing. That's equality. And it doesn't work for us, especially for black folks, especially not in South LA where Martin Luther King Hospital is located. We remember when Martin Luther King Hospital was shut down, right? It's been almost 20 years, I think, when they shut down the first, I don't know if it was the first time, but the first time that I recall them being shut down. And then they had to become a nonprofit, a private entity, in order to open back up to the public. Lots of hospitals that serve folks in South LA, Inglewood areas, right? I remember Daniel Freeman. Daniel Freeman has been shut down for a long time. We had Robert F. Kennedy, I think in Hawthorne or Inglewood back in the day, that was shut down. So Martin Luther King Hospital has a lot of pressure put on it because there's so many people who rely on that hospital because it's the only one that's available, whereas Cedars-Sinai has so many resources. It literally has billions of dollars in reserves, not millions, billions, where Martin Luther King Hospital is suffering from a deficit every single year.
And it's not because we waste money. We don't have the same tax base. We have more people that cannot pay for their own care because they don't have insurance, because they have no resources. And they're saying they're going to lose $80 to $100 billion in annual funding because of the big, beautiful bill, HR1, that big BS bill. And so that means they would likely close again, which would leave a huge hole. They have so many patients, they can't even care for them all inside the hospital. They have tents in the parking lot that, which are being used to treat patients and process patients. And just because Cedars-Sinai doesn't want to, give up their little extra money or whatever, or just because the Trump administration wants to spend all their money bombing Iran instead of healing the sick here, we shouldn't have to see that closing. I know that the hospital is asking folks, call or write to your county supervisor and tell them, we got to change the formula so that MLK gets its fair share.
Yeah, so make sure you're calling in for that because, how many of us have a family member who has to go to MLK, to the emergency room? I know that they don't have I don't believe they have a trauma unit anymore, but they are servicing literally everybody from Compton and Watts, Inglewood, South LA, South Central, right? Like from all over the area. And I can't even imagine how many millions of people that's the closest hospital for. And if that closes, then what happens?
Yeah,
who's going to go? Who? Right? You have to go all the way to Cedars-Sinai. That's basically what Cedars-Sinai is saying. We need the funds because
they don't
people
want
come
you
here.
anyway. But look,
Right.
they don't have a trauma center, but they do have an emergency room, and they treat a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about Measure B funds, those monies that taxpayers already passed, and just changing the formula so that hospitals like MLK can get their fair share.
Yep, that's right. So call in, let folks know we need the funds to come to our community. It has to be more equitable. Cedars-Sinai does not need all that extra money. Our community members, like you said, Cedars-Sinai doesn't want us there, and it's difficult for people to get there anyway. We need a hospital where we are.
And MLK, I guess because it's considered a private hospital, that's why they don't get the funding. But let's define private. It's a community hospital is what it is.
Right, and that's understand why it became a quote unquote private hospital, because it was a county hospital and the county wasn't doing well, right? And so then it became a private nonprofit. So it's still a nonprofit organization. But the history behind that is because MLK was not serving the community well, and so somebody had to come in and take over it to keep it there so that we could still have a hospital in our community.
Right, but and that's a perfect way of describing it. Cedars-Sinai is also a private hospital, but it's not a private community hospital, and it's not a nonprofit.
Right.
Yeah. Well, LaMikia, as per usual, it's great talking with you. Remind folks how to connect with you online.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure talking with you.
Yeah.
Don't go on TikTok. You'll find me on Instagram at LaMikia, LAMIKIA Castillo, CASTILLO. I think that's it. Yes, LaMikia.Castillo.
All right. Well, it's great to talk with you. Stay cool. I think the heat wave continues. Too. Yes, indeed. It's time to get our minds together. Sahara Ali joins us next for Mindful Monday, only right here.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Island with BIN News Now on the Black Information Network. 10 million people are without electricity this morning after Cuba's national power grid reportedly has completely collapsed. The sudden island-wide blackout followed a severe regional outage that had already crippled some sections of the island, including Havana. Hazardous environmental conditions reportedly are continuing to plague black communities, like in Tennessee. Residents and community leaders are speaking up about SpaceX AI's construction in South Haven. Aubrey Connors of the NAACP Center for Environmental and Climate Justice Center says communication is lacking about what is going on.
It felt as though this was a tactic or a strategy to try to not have to work with communities.
A statement about the construction's progress was released to media. Get BIN News Now on demand on the free iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers believe they have added the final piece to winning a third straight World Series. An hour before the Major League Baseball trade deadline, the Dodgers made a deal with the Detroit Tigers to acquire right-handed pitcher Tariq Skubal, the best pitcher in baseball the last 2 years. Skubal won the Cy Young Award in 2025 and 2024. The Dodgers only had to give up 3 minor league prospects to get him. Alabama Alabama A&M will be the first HBCU football team to wear a corporate logo on their jersey. Alabama A&M, a member of the SWAC Conference, agreed to a $250,000 sponsorship deal with Omni2 Max, a tech services firm based in San Diego. The deal was put together by Omni2 Max business development manager Siobhan Kamek, an Alabama A&M alumnus. The logo patch will be on the jerseys for Alabama A&M season opener August 29th against Howard in the SWAC MEAC Challenge in Atlanta. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
There is no denying that we've always been the conscience of this country. KBLA Talk 1580 is progressive talk radio built for our community, by our community, and with hosts who look like you, live near you, and care about what you care about. 50,000 watts of truth right here in Southern California. KBLA Talk 1580. Listen live on your AM radio dial at 1580 or stream us live on our KBLA1580.com website or on our free KBLA 1580 app.
Unapologetically progressive.